I thought I knew the man I married. Then I uncovered his dark past and used it to destroy him piece by piece. Hello, my name is Clara. I am 25-year-old. Me name is Clara. And I once believed I had married a good man. His name was Daniel. Charming, steady, the kind of man whose smile warmed a room and whose words promised safety. He was the kind of man people envied me for marrying, and I believed every lie he wrapped me in. For 5 years, I lived inside the shell of a perfect marriage. A beautiful home, a stable life, whispers of children someday. He was attentive enough, careful enough, to keep me lulled. But cracks always exist, even in the strongest masks. It was a letter that first shook me. I had been sorting through the mail, the ordinary stack of bills and advertisements, when I saw an envelope without return address. My name was written in unfamiliar, hurried handwriting. Inside was a single line. Do you know who your husband truly is? No explanation, no signature, just those words. I might have dismissed it as a cruel prank, but something in my bones chilled. I tucked it away, but it festered in my thoughts. Daniel came home that night, his arms full of flowers, his laughter filling the kitchen. I looked at him, really looked, and for the first time, doubt crept into my chest like smoke. I began to watch him, his late nights at work, his secretive phone calls, the way his smile sometimes slipped when he thought I wasn't looking. I searched for small clues, not even knowing what I was hunting for. And then, one evening, curiosity led me where perhaps I should never have gone, into his study, a room he guarded more fiercely than any other. He had left in a rush, his desk drawer slightly ajar. Inside, I found photographs, not of me, not of us. Photographs of other women, some candid as though taken from a distance, some intimate, far too intimate to dismiss as harmless. My hands trembled as I shuffled through them, names scribbled on the backs, dates and places I did not recognize. My stomach knotted. Who were they? Why did he keep them? Among them lay something worse, a newspaper clipping, yellowed with age, a headline, "Local woman missing after mysterious disappearance," a grainy picture of a young woman with eyes hauntingly alive. The date was from 10 years ago, and Daniel's name appeared, buried in the article, as a close acquaintance. My breath caught, my vision swam. I shoved everything back and closed the drawer, but the weight of the discovery pressed against my ribs. I knew that my husband had secrets darker than infidelity. I started digging, quietly, carefully, the way a woman does when she knows danger. Lives in her own home. The missing woman, her name was Rebecca Hale. She had vanished without a trace, and the case had gone cold. Rumors suggested she had run away, but her family insisted otherwise. And Daniel? He had been her boyfriend. He never told me, not once. In all our years together, he had erased her name, her existence. I reached out to Rebecca's sister, under the guise of curiosity. She met me in a small cafe, her eyes shadowed by years of grief. She spoke of Daniel, charming at first, but controlling, manipulative. Rebecca had tried to leave him, then she disappeared. My blood iced over as I listened. When I returned home, Daniel greeted me with his usual warmth, pressing a kiss to my cheek. I forced myself to smile, to bury my horror deep inside. But inside me, a vow was forming. If he thought he could bury his past, he was wrong. I gathered evidence. Slowly, methodically, I copied the photographs, scanned the newspaper clippings, recorded his late night calls when his voice grew harsh, threatening. He thought I was blind, but I had learned to see. One night, I pretended to sleep while he slipped from bed. I followed him, my feet silent on the cold floorboards, until I reached the basement. He was there, hunched over a locked trunk. I watched as he unlocked it and pulled out Rebecca's necklace, a delicate chain with a small silver locket. He stared at it, his expression unreadable, then tucked it away again. My heart thundered. Proof. Proof he had held onto something of hers. Proof he was tied to her disappearance. I returned to bed before he could notice me, my mind racing. This was no longer about betrayal. It was about justice. For Rebecca. For me. For every lie he had wrapped me in. The opportunity came sooner than I expected. Daniel had organized a dinner party, inviting colleagues, friends, people whose opinions he valued. He thrived on admiration, on the illusion of a perfect life. I chose that night to end it. As the guests dined and laughter filled the room, I excused myself briefly, then returned with a small box in my hands. I set it on the table with deliberate calm. Daniel, I said, my voice steady though my heart raced, Perhaps you'd like to explain this. I opened the box. Inside lay Rebecca's necklace, the photographs, the clippings I had copied. Gasps echoed around the table. Eyes turned to him, questioning, suspicious. His face drained of color, his mouth opening, closing, words failing him. What is this? One guest demanded. I looked at them all, then at him. This is the man you think you know. This is his past. The woman he never speaks of. The one who vanished after she tried to leave him. Tell me, Daniel. Where is Rebecca? The room erupted into chaos, questions, accusations, shocked whispers. Daniel stammered, tried to deny, but the evidence spoke louder than his words. His mask cracked, splintered, fell. That night, I walked out, leaving him to the wolves. The police reopened Rebecca's case. Investigators swarmed his life, tearing through his secrets, dragging his past into the light. His colleagues distanced themselves, his reputation collapsed, his business faltered, and me? I watched it all unfold with cold satisfaction. He tried to reach me, begged for silence, for forgiveness, for loyalty, but I gave him nothing, only the truth. The last time I saw him was in a courtroom. His eyes searched for me, pleading, but I met them with steel. I thought of Rebecca, of her sister, of the years stolen from her family, and I thought of myself, of the wife who had once believed in him. She was gone. In her place stood someone sharper, harder, forged in betrayal. Freedom is a strange thing. I live quietly now, but not timidly. I carry myself differently, as though the shadows have been burned away. Leela, my daughter, laughs freely in the sun, unburdened by the darkness that once shared our home. Sometimes, I think of Daniel, of the man I thought I married, and the monster he truly was. I do not grieve for him. I grieve only for the years I wasted believing his lies. But then I remind myself, I did not stay silent. I uncovered the truth. I destroyed his mask, and in the ashes of his downfall, I found myself reborn. Because sometimes, vengeance is not about rage, it is about truth. And truth, once revealed, burns brighter than any fire. Thanks for watching.